Hey everybody, this is the mind of Lilith and welcome to another open mind intuitive tarot message. So today is going to be another special reading and I'm going to focus on a relationship that has been receiving a lot of press over the past several months, more so the past 24 to 48 hours. And that is the relationship between Clarissa Shields, Remy and Papoose, and even Remy Ma's current boyfriend. I think his name is Easy. I'm going to find out the dynamics of their relationships, what is really going on between them. And the purpose of this message is not to break up anybody's relationship. I'm not trying to start any mess. I just want to get some clarity about what's going on and hopefully use this reading as a teachable moment for other women going through similar situations, okay? So, spirit guides, divine messengers, archangels. I need some help here. I want to find out what's happening between Reminisce, her husband Papoose, Shamil, Clarissa, and Easy. Okay. How does Reminisce Mackie currently feel about her estranged husband, Shamil Mackie, Papoose? How does Reminisce Mackie feel about? Okay, we have sorrow, loss, grief, depression. Okay. Exhaustion. This is what's not being communicated, what's being hidden. Okay. And that's interesting. How does Shamil Mackie feel about his estranged wife, Reminisce Mackie? How does Shamil Mackie feel about his estranged wife, Reminisce or Remy Ma? How does he feel about her? Breaking point, limit, final straw, overwhelmed. Okay. Mirroring shared feelings. Interesting. Reflection, twin flame. Ooh, seems like this is an issue of miscommunication. Neither of them wanted this to be the way that it is. Neither of them. How does Remy Ma feel about her current boyfriend, Easy? Abandoned, left out, walked away, cold. One day. What? Be quiet. Okay. How does Shamil Mackie feel about Clarissa Shields? Okay. Heart fog, mixed signals, blocked emotions, messed up. Yeah, that would make sense. Healing, releasing, purifying, cleansing. Okay, so this is how Remy feels about Papoose, how she feels about her current boyfriend situation, how Shamil feels about her, and how he feels about Clarissa. Yeah. Okay, so let me get into Remy and Papoose. Sorrow and exhaustion. They're at some sort of impasse. Both of them have gone through, they've both done things in a relationship that they regret, but they were lashing out. It seems like they were lashing out. And perhaps the dysfunctional or abusive things they've done towards each other was a cry for help, but they didn't know how to communicate what they wanted. Or there was I don't know, there's a sense of complacency, of taking somebody for granted, like he won't change or she won't change until I change or I do something different. So somebody could have been pleading, begging for a change. It could have been both of them. They're not listening to each other. Now, Remy Ma is a Gemini and Papoose is a Pisces. This is a square in astrology. And squares represent restrictions, difficulties, challenges, lessons. Their energies don't integrate well unless someone plays a lesser role, unless someone submits to or someone acquiesces or compromises for the sake of the relationship to maintain the peace. It seems like this relationship may have had issues, long-standing issues that were sort of baked into the foundation of the relationship. This seems like a trauma bond to an extent, the sorrow and exhaustion, depleted, drained, long journey. This is not the way that they wanted this to play out. Limit, final straw, overwhelmed. And Papoose, I believe he basically filed for divorce today or something like that, or signed the divorce papers very recently. She pushed him to the breaking point. He's playing off of her. They're playing off each other, or he's playing off of her. Ooh, okay, here's the thing. This is what I'm getting. They're both playing hardball. They both feel like they're right. And because they feel like they're right, they're not going to back down. Something was a breaking point. I don't think the infidelity or the affairs on Remy Ma's part was the breaking point. There were many things that were happening in between that time that I think where Remy Ma may have felt like she had to step out in order to change things, to make him pay attention or notice what's going on. They both feel like they're right. This is a square. They both feel like they've made sacrifices with the other person. And this is about pride and ego. This is not they still have feelings for each other, but it's like they both think they're right. Like, who's going to be the first one to say sorry? Remy feels like she was right in what she did, and Papoose feels like he was right in what he did. Now, they could both be right and wrong at the same time. Neither one of them wants to be the first to say, I was wrong, please forgive me. Or if they do that, it's like, I don't know, there's some resentment here. There is definitely bitterness and resentment here, and a sorry won't suffice. It won't be enough. It won't be enough for either one of them. So saying I'm sorry is not going to fix this, even though they could both genuinely mean it. So many things have happened throughout the course of the relationship whereby a sorry would not be enough. There has to be complete overhaul of the situation, which is the overwhelming space, like too much water under the bridge. Mirroring shared feelings and reflecting each other. They're both playing off each other. I'm going to say that neither one of them want this to be the way it is. They don't. But it's like, it's getting out of hand. It's getting out of hand. They both feel like they're right. So they're both angry with each other. There's still love there. In order for this to kind of get patched up, they have to let go of everything that they've been through. Releasing, purifying, cleansing. He's trying to do that himself. Mixed signals, blocked emotions. He's not feeling Clarissa the way that people think, or that even he thinks. This is like a rebound situation with the heart fog and healing space. It's a rebound for him. With him, he's falling. Mixed signals, blocked emotions, and messed up. She's helping him to heal in some way, Clarissa, but that doesn't mean that he wants to be with her. I think she's feeding his ego in some way. Things may have been said in this relationship, in his marriage, like they could have torn each other down. Pisceans and Geminis have crazy mouths. When they go at it, it's over. Like these two signs have very nasty mouths when they're upset. I think that he may feel emasculated, and she may feel like she's the man in the situation. It's like, and so now with him being with the Clarissa, his ego is being boosted back up. He feels like she needs him. The same way he felt like Remy Ma needed him. I haven't seen their natal charts. I'm going to do a natal chart, a sinister reading for these two people. But he likes the way that Clarissa looks at him. He likes the way that she makes him feel. But it doesn't mean that he loves her. It just, I'm not saying he doesn't like her. But she's healing his ego. Absolutely. She's healing his ego because Papoose may have felt emasculated in some sense. And Remy Ma's tired of the role she's been playing, of the dynamic, of the arguing, of something. They both feel like they're right. That's what I'm getting. That's what the mirroring and reflecting in his shared feelings is about. It's like they're at an impasse, like the Two of Swords. Either we can move forward together or separate. But if we're moving forward together, things have to change drastically. And I'm not sure if either of them believe that they have to change. I think that they both believe that they don't need to change anything. Like, I've done everything right for you. I've been this for you. I've done that for you. They both think that they've done their best here. But it's not, I don't think that's, I think, okay. They believe they've done their best. I've given you everything. I've done everything for you. I've done this, done it, I've made all these sacrifices for you. That is true on both ends, but are they giving each other what they need as opposed to what they think they need? I'm going to treat you the way I think you want to be treated based on how I want to be treated versus the way you need to be treated. I think that's what's been happening, that there's been a projection of feelings on both ends with this foggy energy. Neptune has been in Pisces since 2011, and that has had a corrosive effect on a relationship. A lot of projections here. I'm going to take care of you and treat you the way that I think you'd want to be treated if I were you. Not considering how the other person feels or what the other person needs. It's like Papoose will not give Remy Ma what she needs, or he cannot or does not want to give her what she needs. And the same thing, Remy Ma can't give Papoose what he needs. She gives him what she thinks is best for him based on her understanding of what's going on, or vice versa. Or even just to just flip it around a little bit, right? Suppose one or both of them have toxic traits or a dysfunctional habit, and the other person's like, yo, let's chill out, let's do something different. One person may say, if you really love me, you'll let me be toxic. You'll let me continue to self-destruct. Something like that, where one or both parties feels like they're not receiving the love that they need from the other person, but they're both giving love, but it's the love language is off. The love language is off. I wish I would have looked at their charts before I started this, because their Venuses may be in a square or in conjunction. Remy Ma may have Venus in, for example, Aries, and Papoose may have Venus, I don't know, he could have it in, no, I'd say a square. He could have Venus. Let me think. Why am I getting mixed up here? There could be, Remy Ma could have Venus in Gemini, and Papoose could have Venus in Pisces. That is a square. But there could also be maybe an in conjunction. I'm trying to make sure I get the calculations correct in my head. An in conjunction is about 5 signs away. So if Remy Ma has a Gemini Venus, I'm not sure if she does or not. She has a Gemini Venus, and in conjunction from that would be like a Capricorn Venus or a Scorpio Venus. It would have to be Capricorn and Papoose's part. Because he's a Pisces. So something like what there could be an in conjunction in Venus, or a square with their Venus signs, or a moon Venus misalignment in their charts, a dissonant aspect between those love planets. So I'm giving you what I think you need based on how I would want to be treated, or if you really loved me, you would allow me to be toxic and self-destructive. Something like that. There's an impasse here. There's an impasse in the relationship. As far as Remy Ma, and I don't think she sees it for him long term. I think he's just a rebound. I think this is both rebound situations. They're both using rebounds. This is why it's not a good idea to get involved in married couples shenanigans. Okay? Married people sometimes use single people to self-medicate, or as therapists and counselors for their toxic relationships. I think Clarissa is helping Papoose to heal in some way, and to feel empowered, and to feel like, you know, he still has it, or he's still desired, or he's still a man in some sense. And I don't think this situation with Easy is the way that she thought it would be, or she planned it would be. I think they had planned for a temporary separation. That's what I think. But now things have gotten out of hand because there's so much water under the bridge, so many things left unsaid. And then you have social media fodder, people adding their little 2 cents into their situations, and then adding, it's like now it's getting out of hand because too many people know what's going on and adding their little 2 cents to it, and it's making one or both of them look bad. Now there's pressure from the outside of their relationship that's kind of forcing them to address long-standing issues that could have been smoothed over in therapy privately, but now it's being played out on social media because it's festered for too long. And you know, Clarissa and Papoose are becoming very public while he's still married to Remy Ma, and people have something to say about that, understandably. Yeah, so breaking point. But heart fog. I think Papoose goes back and forth between being really done and not really wanting to be done with this. They're going back and forth. This is mutable energy, indecisiveness on both ends. They're not happy about this. They're not happy about this. But they're too arrogant. They're too arrogant, both of them. Not even arrogant. They both feel like they're right. They both feel like they've done so much for the other person that, like, what else can I do? Like, what more do you want from me? Kind of energy. What more do you want from me? Kind of energy. And they're not listening to each other. This is like a Venus square. I'm going to love you the way I want to love you, not the way you need me to. So, guys, what's happening? What's going on for Reminisce Mackey and Shamel Mackey? 6 of Pentacles, financial situations. That could be the crux of the issue. 3 of Wands. That could be the crux of the issue. Money. There's an imbalance, like, of give and take. Somebody could feel like they were giving more than the other person financially. How does Shamel Mackey feel about his wife? Strength card. Holding strong. Could be stubbornly to the lovers. He's always going to love her. He's always going to love her. But they're just angry right now. And frustrated. How does Remy Ma feel about Easy, her current boyfriend? Reminisce Mackie, how does she feel about her current boyfriend? I don't think she really want to be with him like that. Ten of Wands. It's, I think he's just there as a prop. To be honest, it's almost like she's using him as a way to to bounce off of. Rebound. This is like rebound energy. Bounce back kind of energy. Ten of Wands. He's a burden. No, he's a financial burden. This was just a fling for her. I don't see this lasting long at all. There could have been some initial interest with these little buds here, but this is a winter. It looks like the middle of winter. This can't grow. Whatever this is can't grow because of financial stuff going on. How does Shamel Mackey feel about Clarissa Shields? The Moon card. More confusion. Drifting into darkness. Okay. See, they're both falling, not knowing what to do, confused. Major Arcana. Drifting into darkness. Do you see, Knight of Pentacles. They can work together. The Moon is Cancer, Pisces energy. This is slow and steady progress. But this is not romantic. This is more so business. You see the Lovers in his Strength card. He's always going to love her. Always. How does Clarissa Shields feel about Papoose? Page of Swords. I heard it through the grapevine that you and me would do fine. And I hope that you feel much better. Yes, I do, baby. Yeah. The gossip is getting to her. I think she's going to do her due diligence. At some point, she may feel like she has to walk away from this. The Magician reverse is sort of okay. So, the Magician upright is someone who uses their gifts and their abilities to elevate, right? To connect with God and higher consciousness. The Magician reverse is like someone who uses their gifts to satisfy their base desires. It's the Mistress energy, Queen of Wands. I think this is also ego. This is also ego. Why am I hearing Pina Colada? Escape? The Papoose and Remy might come back together. They might circle back around with this. The Magician's reverse. This is an inability to manifest something. She's going to, she can feel what this is. This has nothing to do with what we're saying, right? Or what's on social media. She can sense that something's off. With the Page of Swords, it's like her intuition, her spidey sense is like, something's off here. How does Easy feel about Remy? The World reverse. It's over, but he doesn't want it to be. Ten of Cups. He's waiting for her to end her relationship. No. She's not feeling. I'm not laughing at the situation. I'm laughing at the cards. Listen. He's waiting for her to end her marriage, but she sees him as a financial burden. Just to keep it 100. She sees him as a financial burden. I think that the issue is with the money with her and Papoose. Like someone's taking or giving more than the other person. It's not reciprocated or something. Something's not reciprocated. Clarify the Six of Pentacles and the Three of Wands. She loves him still, and he loves her also. But it's like Saturn is in Pisces, and it's making a conjunction to his sun sign. Whatever illusions or fantasies or deceptions that he's had about this relationship, they're coming to light, and he might not like the way he feels in this connection or the way he looks. The Six of Swords, another six. I'm going to say this. Wow. I feel like if Papoose built himself up, rebuilt his life, he would go back to Remy Ma. Like once he proved he could pull his weight financially outside of Remy, he would use that to win her back over again or go back to her. The Four of Swords, Ten of Swords, that's being averted. So the Ten of Swords represents a divorce, a breakup, a separation, an ending, but that's being delayed. They're separated right now. They could be figuring out the finances of this divorce, all that other stuff, but clarify the Strength card and the Lover's card for Shamel's feelings towards Page of Pentacles, finances, and the Sun card, children, happiness, joy. I think he'd want to start something over with her again. That's what I think. I really, this is what I mentioned earlier, like if he got his money together or something, it's something financial here. If he got his money together, he would feel like he could bring something to the table. She would respect him more. I'm getting Fantasia vibes. Fantasia had an affair with a married man years ago. And after that affair ended, the wife ended up suing suing Fantasia for alienation of affection. I don't know if it could have been a scheme. I'm not saying they're scheming, but I'm not saying Remy Ma and Papoose are scheming. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that there is a possibility that if once Papoose rebuilt himself and proved himself to be self-sufficient, to be able to make his own money or something like that, he would go back to Remy Ma, or she would go back to him. I think she would feel some kind of way if she was footing the bill for him for all these years, and then he gets with somebody else and all of a sudden makes all this money. I don't think that would happen. Clarify the Moon card and the Knight of Pentacles, please, for how Shamel Mackey feels about Clarissa Shields. Knight of Swords, rapid communication, moving quickly, Gemini energy. The Hierophant. Yeah, so this is like rushing to commitment to avoid dealing with these emotions, or this could be his relationship with his wife. Rushing to commitment for what? To avoid dealing with this? The heart fog, the confusion, the depression. Clarify the Knight of Swords and the Ace of Cups. Yeah, this is what it is. So it's like he's rushing to start something new with someone. I'm getting money. This is finances. It's not the Two of Cups, it's the Ace of Cups. The Empress represents a wife, a mother. There's two Taurus energies. There's a financial incentive for this here. I'm not saying there's no mutual love here, but I don't see the Two of Cups. I don't see the Six of Cups or the Three of Cups. This is for me. I'm hearing Pina Colada. The melody for the song. what's it called? Escape. And then the premise of the song is a couple who have been married for many years and they're both tired of their relationship. So the wife puts an ad in a newspaper for a rendezvous, and the husband unwittingly responds to the ad, thinking that he's going to be stepping out on his wife, but in actuality, he's reaching out to her, to his wife, to fulfill some sort of fantasy. So it's like they're circling back to each other. This is, how do you go from I don't know what I want to heart fog and to commitment? Okay, what's going on with the Two of Pentacles and the Ten of Wands for how Remy Ma feels about easy? We have the High Priestess secret. I don't think he knows about this. King of Wands. There could be another person involved. Another man, maybe. A third party situation within that dynamic. Somebody else, unless he's a fire sign. What actions and steps will Papoose take towards Ace of Pentacles? I was thinking Remy Ma, but I heard Clarissa Shields. What actions and steps will Papoose take towards Remy Ma, his wife? Nine of Swords. The Death card. He's going to offer something to Clarissa. But while feeling like this is not the Ten of Swords. There's still loose ends here. There are still loose ends. The Death card is here. But it's not, I feel like it's a death that's leading to a rebirth. Clarify the Nine of Swords and a death. Okay, does he want her to meet him halfway? Does Papoose want his estranged wife to meet him halfway? What actions and steps will Remy Ma take towards the Judgment card? A final call. Seven of Swords. To do what? Because the Ten is still not here. Clarify the Judgment and the Seven of Swords, please. The Judgment comes before the World card. And that's in reverse. I think they may circle back around. It's like, I'm getting Cassie and Diddy vibes again. It's like these two, I don't know, there's some sort of, it's not over between them. Clarify the Judgment and the Seven of Swords. I'm hearing Pina Colada, Knight of Cups, an apology, Pisces energy, Nine of Cups, self-indulgent, wish fulfillment. And I mentioned earlier, she may be looking to him to apologize or vice versa. I think someone's going to break. We have two nines here, not the 10. It's not over. It's like right at the breaking point. Okay, what will be the status of Papoose and Remy Ma's relationship in the next 12 months? What will be the status of their connection? The energy between them, the status of their relationship between Papoose and Remy Ma. The Hermit. This is still not a divorce. Separation, isolation, King of Pentacles. Clarify the Hermit and the King of Pentacles. They're going to be separated still. Two of Cups. Interesting. Queen of Cups. Star card. Now the Two is here. What will be the status of Papoose's relationship with Clarissa Shields in the next 12 months? Desperate Housewives? Seven of Pentacles waiting. Nine of Wands. Why is that? Two of Wands. No Cups, Five of Pentacles. You remember when I asked about how Papoose felt about Clarissa, the actions he would take towards her, and I got the Ace of Cups, which is I'm making a move towards you for my own needs. There's no mutual consideration here. It's not a symbiotic connection. But when I asked about the status of Papoose's relationship with Remy in a year, I got the Two of Cups. So when I asked about him and Clarissa, I got the Ace of Pentacles. Still, this is like it's kind of selfish or self-serving with these aces. And then the Five of Pentacles here. It's like with the Seven of Pentacles, it's like you're waiting for something that will never happen. Because his heart is somewhere else. I think after a long period of separation, they're going to come back together. That's what I believe. It's like something's going to bring them back together. What's going on? Let me get some more clarification here. Spirit guides, you know, please calibrate the deck to align with this spread here. How does Reminisce Mackie feel about her estranged husband? We have Deception, Soulmate. Okay. Someone's wearing a false self-mask in this relationship. Yes, this is your soulmate. How does Shamel Mackie feel about his estranged wife, Reminisce Mackie? Separation, retreat. It can be release your ex. Okay. Time apart from your partner is on the horizon. It is time to disconnect from the world. The time has come to clear your energy. How does Papoose feel about Clarissa Shields? How does, what's his name? Shamel Mackie feel about Clarissa Shields? How does he currently feel about her? If you like pina colada. You deserve love. You are lovable. Okay? Doesn't mean I love you. It means you are lovable. I'm not saying he doesn't love her. I think he wants to give her a chance. But there's still stuff going on here. How does Remy Ma feel about Easy, her current boyfriend? Unrequited love. Yeah, she out. That's not going nowhere. There's not enough attraction or chemistry to keep the relationship going. I think he's a rebound. But this is going so far. Like, this is going too far here. How will Papoose feel about Remy Ma in a year? 12 months. Engagement. I figured that much. Because when I asked about this earlier, the Queen of Cups came out, the Hermit card came out, the Two of Cups came out. I think he just needs some space. He's saying you deserve love. Doesn't mean that it is from him. How will Remy Ma feel about Papoose in a year? How will she feel about him in a year? How will Reminisce Mackie feel about her estranged husband in 12 months? True love. Romantic feelings. Keep an open mind. It's safe for you to love. They're just hashing out drama right now because they've had a lot of issues that they never really addressed in a relationship. They may have taken each other for granted. It's like when you're with somebody for so long, they begin to mirror you, or when you have so many commonalities with a person, they mirror you. So it's hard to learn from somebody who's just like you. That is kind of like the square here. Stubborn energy. We're at an impasse. I'm going to find out what's preventing them from coming together. How does Easy feel about Remy Ma currently? How does Remy Ma's boyfriend Easy feel about her? How does Remy Ma feel about... No, how does Easy feel about Remy Ma? How does her current boyfriend feel about her? She don't take him seriously. She's just using him as a rebound at this point. I think they're using each other, to be honest. He's getting something out of it. It's not like, you know... Yeah. Very soon. Clearly decide what you want so that it comes to you now. Yeah, I think they both make a decision to part ways within the next 6 months. But I think, like, to save face in this whole drama, they won't say anything about it. How does Clarissa feel about Papoose? How does Clarissa Shields feel about him? Nope. How does Clarissa Shields feel about Papoose currently? Passion, trust, religious factors, playfulness. So yeah, there's passion here. But I don't see marriage in any of these cards. Marriage, honeymoon, nothing. She's happy. She trusts him. And she's having fun with him right now. But I don't, This is just a rebound situation. Similar to what Martell and Melody went through. And it kind of got out of hand. I think that Martell and Melody would have had another go around if it were not for Ariane getting pregnant. I think she would have given him another chance, potentially. Perhaps, if the other girl wasn't pregnant. Doesn't mean they'll still be together now, but it doesn't mean he wouldn't mess up again. I just think that what's happening here is that a lot of unprocessed, unexpressed resentments are being played out in social media. They're spilling over. This should have been discussed in counseling. So everything that we're being privy to now, all the receipts about the monies and the gambling and whatever, that should have been discussed in therapy if they haven't gone. And they both feel like they're right. I think they'll miss each other so much in the future that at some point they'll come back together. That's what I think. If you like pina coladas. Okay. What is preventing Remy Ma and Papoose from coming back together? What is blocking their relationship? Losing yourself, right? I gave you more. I gave up so much of the situation. I've done so much for you. You feel lost in your partner. It's okay to be yourself and have your own life too. The Six of Pentacles is sort of codependent, toxic energy. Incomplete. You want someone who completes you, but you need to be whole on your own. That's what's going on between Remy Ma and Papoose. That's why I mentioned earlier that if Papoose got his finances together, he would go back to Remy Ma. It's like they both feel like they've lost themselves trying to be what they thought the other person needed. You want someone who completes you. You lost yourself in this situation. I think this is more so a Papoose problem than a Remy Ma problem. I think Papoose enmeshing himself in Clarissa Shields' life so quickly, being her manager and doing these raps, he has a codependent issue. He feels maybe incomplete without a partner. Maybe Remy Ma that's also, but I think she's a bit more independent than he is. So, what is preventing Papoose and Clarissa Shields from fully connecting and being together? What's in the way of their relationship coming together fully? too much work. You tell yourself it's too much work, but it's really an excuse not to get involved. I don't want to file for divorce. There's too many complications. The children and the assets. Same thing Martell told Arion. It's 10 of Wands. It's too much. We got to deal with this. Yeah. Fated to be alone. You gave up on love because you think you're meant to be alone. It's not true. This is the confusion energy. This foggy. Meaning if I can't be with Remy, I might as well be by myself. I feel alone anyway. He feels lost without her. He feels lost without her. Clarissa is just there, I think, to make him feel better about himself as a man. He may have felt like he lost himself in that relationship. And Remy, too. Because maybe she was the breadwinner. She overlooked a lot of things. It just, I don't know. Their relationship changed. No, I'm sorry. They changed. They each changed individually, but the dynamics of the relationship did not change with it. It's like they were still holding on to the idea of who each other was from 20 years ago, but they've both changed. And so they have to engage with each other differently for this to work. Someone's not being honest about something. They're not being honest about how they feel. I think they're both lying to themselves and each other. They're not done with the situation, or they don't want to be done. That's the thing. They don't want to be done with this. They don't want this to be over. They just want the pain to stop. They want the arguments and the disrespect and whatever it was that broke them up to stop. If it's like, if somebody told them, listen, tomorrow when you get back together, you won't have no arguments. You'll have a perfect life together. I think they'll get back together. They would get back together if they knew things would be better. But I don't think they know how to do the work of healing themselves to be better partners for each other, healing themselves to help heal each other. I can't give you what I don't have. I'm giving you what I do have, but what I'm giving you is incomplete because I feel incomplete within myself. So there's somebody felt like something was always missing here. And so they overextended themselves. They try to compensate for the other person's faults or what they were lacking. And there was resentments that were brewing between both of them. It's just really crazy. They're not separated because they don't love each other. They're separated because they don't understand each other anymore. Or they never really did. They think they're both right. And they're both angry about how much I've done for you. How could you do this to me? Or you're not grateful. But in actuality, you were giving me what you wanted to give me, not what I needed. One more, please. What's going on with Remy Ma and Easy? What's preventing their relationship from coming together? What is preventing their relationship from coming together? If you let me. Remy Ma and Easy, what's going on with them? Being cold. You seem unapproachable because you're aloof. Try being more friendly. Yes, her heart's not open to him like that. I think he's just there and burnt out. You feel emotionally burnt out right now. Retreat and recover before continuing. There's too much going on here. She's exhausted and depleted financially, emotionally, mentally. I think he's just there. He was just supposed to be like something to have fun with or to put Papoose on notice. I think it's gotten out of hand on both sides. But both of them are too proud to say, I'm sorry. I made a mistake. We took this too far. I don't want to get a divorce. I want to work on this, but I don't know how to change to make this work. I don't want to go back to the way things were. I want my peace. I want to be happy. I want my best friend back. But I don't know how to do that because I've changed and you've changed. And so we want different things, but we don't know how to be together as two different people than we were 20 years ago. So they have to grow together. I don't think they grew apart. I don't see this as growing apart necessarily. That could be one of the manifestations here. They could have grown apart, but I'm not seeing that. Because when you grow apart from somebody, the ending is a little more amicable. It's peaceful. There's a sense of finality. Here, there's no finality. It's like this was not supposed to be the way that it is. This is not the way that we wanted it to be. It went too far for both of them. I think that they'll be working their way back to each other within the next year or so. Someone is going to stall the divorce or delay the divorce, or even if they get divorced, they'll still be seeing each other. So whatever's coming out now is just like long-standing resentments that have been brewing for decades. And I think either they did not have these conversations in the past, or it's like now you're going to be forced to listen to me. Somebody felt like they were taken for granted, or they both did. They both felt like or feel like they were taken for granted, and they both feel like they gave a lot to this relationship. And it wasn't either reciprocated or appreciated or something. And they're both tired of the dynamic. But they still love each other. They just wish things could be different, and they don't know how to do that. They need therapy and counseling. And unfortunately, Clarissa and the boyfriend are going to be collateral damage in this. But this is a lesson for Clarissa and other people who are involved in married people's mess. Leave married people alone to their own drama, right? You saw what happened with Jada Pinkett and August Alsina. It hardly ever works out. Or Martell and Melody and Arion, right? Most married people use single people to fortify or strengthen their marriage. If they wanted to get divorced, they would have got divorced already. So don't be the person that's used to keep your lover's relationship together. And I mentioned this a couple years ago. Men and women cheat with people who make it easier to stay married. But Clarissa is a public figure, so you can't do with her what you would do with somebody else who's kind of anonymous. So it's hard to stay with Remy Ma if you're with a public figure, right? So now the public is kind of forcing. I'm going to say this. Apparently, Clarissa and Papoose did some freestyle together, whatever. Remy was hurt by that. She lashed out and said, get your stuff then. Like, what are we doing here? I think he wanted to hurt her and see how she reacted. Because she was acting so unbothered. They both know each other. They both know each other. Why was it so urgent for her to say, get your stuff now? Today, after that whole show Casey did, that little performance he did with the little freestyle. Why would that be the impetus for her to put this stuff out there? She was hurt by that, obviously. And he knows that. That's why he did it. He wanted to trigger her. This is why single people need to stay away from married people. I don't care what they say about their relationship. I don't care. Until the divorce is finalized and they've been separated for a time, stay away from married people. Let them work this out themselves. You being in the mix is just making things complicated, and it's making it harder for people to see where they really stand, because he still has unresolved feelings for his wife. And those unresolved feelings are making it hard for him to connect with Clarissa while she's becoming more attached to him and getting entangled and enmeshed in his mess. That's not fair to anybody in a situation. Do I need to get one more card to find out what's happening here? Do I do? What you do? I have 15,000 decks. My love. Let me get one more card. Bear with me, guys. When I see you on the street, my whole body sweet. It's the mention of your name. Yes, I got some honey kisses for your lips. Yes, I got some honey sucker chocolate sipping kisses full of love for you. My heart has been waiting for your love to arrive. Okay, advice for Remy Reminisce Mackey and her husband Papoose, Shamel Mackey. More advice for them, please. More advice for them. On whom am I placing blame right now? They both blame each other for this falling apart. And they're both responsible for this happening. I think they gave their all, but again, their love languages may not have been compatible. I'm going to give you what I think you need based on what I want versus what you need. And sometimes what somebody needs is not good for them or the relationship. A person who blames others has not begun their lesson. A person who blames themselves has begun their lesson. A person who blames no one has finished a lesson. And the no one blaming would be the growing apart. It's an amicable breakup, right? In order for them to get to the point where they can work together and come back together and reconcile, they have to be honest with each other, take responsibility and accountability for their role in the relationship kind of falling apart, and then maybe move forward. But right now it's like a bunch of subs and just mental games. Five of Swords energy. Take responsibility. On whom are you placing blame right now? Today, free yourself by releasing all victimhood, blame, and resistance. They don't belong where you're going. Only love and courage live there. Make a choice to do it, even if you don't feel ready. Listen to your heart. You'll be led. So yeah, in their heart, they love each other, but they don't know how to fix this. And it's getting out of hand. One more, please. Advice for Remy and Papoose, Reminisce Mackey and Shamel Mackey. Advice for their relationship. Advice for them. And then I'm going to do, okay, we have, where am I called to use my voice right now? Meaning they have to be honest with each other about what's been going on, how they've felt in this relationship. I think the video live that Remy Ma did may have, helped Papoose to see things a different way. But social media is not the platform or the forum for this. They need to go to therapy or counseling. You have a soul script that was written to be spoken. Your story matters, and it's time for you to share with the world. No, don't share with social media. Ridiculous. Share your story with at least one person today. Yeah, Papoose, share with the world. That's what happened. I think this situation that blew up on social media is going to be the catalyst that gets them talking again and working through this slowly. It's a slow process. They're going to be separated for a while, but I think some sort of door was opened today or yesterday, courtesy of whatever argument they had, that will facilitate some deeper conversations between them in the future. Be brave and speak your truth. Your voice will be the catalyst for healing in others. And I mentioned earlier in the reading that this reading is not to break up anybody's relationship, but it's to help provide teachable moments for not just Papoose and his wife and his estranged wife, but also women going through the same situation. So yeah, this dynamic is actually this drama is a great topic for people to discuss and on social media, as far as like getting involved with married people, rebound situations, triangulation, all that stuff. Okay, what is going on with Clarissa and Papoose? Advice for Clarissa when it comes to Papoose. Advice for Clarissa Shields in terms of, am I afraid to be seen? I think she feels seen by him in a way that she may not have experienced before. The world doesn't want you to hold back any longer. Time to shine your unique light on the world. You were made from love, and from love you are whole. There is no more hiding. There is no more shame. There's only truth. Live naked and free. And maybe she wants to be claimed by him as like his girl, his woman. But he can't really do that if he's still married to somebody else. So are you willing to be a side piece to a man, a married man? Even if it's public, you're still legally a side piece, or technically a side piece. Do you value yourself enough to be somebody's full girlfriend, or I guess their main girlfriend, versus being, a mistress? Because mistresses are usually not seen. Even if you see them physically, or like physically with the person that they're cheating with or cheating on, they're not seen still. They're still not in the relationship as a fully committed partner. So they're not really visible like that. You're only seeing Clarissa through the eyes of Papoose's infidelity or whatever's happening in their relationship. You don't really see her like that. So she's kind of being hidden by this situation too. And that could be a part of like some sort of trauma that she has about like not being good enough or valuable enough or worthy enough to be claimed as a main woman for a man. There is no more hiding, no more shame. There's only truth. Live naked and free. What parts of me do I hide so I can be socially accepted and fit in? Right. Why was this okay with her? Why didn't she say at 30 years old, Mister, don't talk to me until you divorce your wife? Why did Remy Ma have to pull the trigger on that and force him to do it? Why was it okay for him to walk around with her and pretend to be whatever while he's still married? Is she okay being a side piece? If she is, then that's an issue. If she's not, then what is she doing? What parts of me do I hide so that I can be socially accepted and fit in? Am I being authentic? Do I allow myself to be all of me? Absolutely not as a mistress. You cannot be all of you as a mistress. You can't. Because in order for you to have a happy, functional, symbiotic, loving relationship, both partners have to show up fully and authentically. And we have seen earlier, it's been shown, that Papoose is not there yet. And it's fair because he's just gotten out of a 20+ year relationship. So that makes sense. Why are you so enamored with someone who you just met, who just got separated, and they're not even divorced fully? Like, what are you doing? So this is a reflection on her self-esteem too. She has to learn from this mistake as well. I'm not saying that Papoose and Clarissa won't be together or can't be, but as of right now, she's settling. She's playing herself right now. This man is still married, and they've been, messing around for 6 months to a year, and he still hasn't filed for divorce. Why did Remy Ma have to why did she have to convince him to do this? She had to push him into filing for divorce by embarrassing him online. So did you want it or not? And then Clarissa, at 30 years old, you should know better. But she doesn't know better because she never felt seen before by a man. More than likely, daddy may not have been there. This man's older. He's giving her attention. He's like he's, you know, putting her on a pedestal. He's treating her like, you know, she's valuable, and maybe she's not used to that. So she's going to put up with being a side piece, a very visible one, but you're still a side piece nonetheless. Like Ariana Martell. Everybody knows that, you know, Ariana was seeing Martell while he was married, and he still didn't claim her with the baby. So, I don't know. Being claimed publicly doesn't mean anything if the paperwork isn't finalized. I don't think he wants to do this. I think if the divorce is finalized, it's because of social media pressure. They don't want to do this. It's getting out of hand, though, for both of them. What do I need to feel so I can be safe to be seen? Right? So she should have given Papoose an ultimatum. If you don't file for divorce, don't say nothing to me. Come back to me when your divorce is finalized. But because of this Magician reverse card and the Queen of Swords card, Queen of Wands, which is the Mistress card, and the Two of Swords, it's like, I'm getting my needs met here too. He's pouring into me in a way I've never felt before. I have a man that's willing to work with me. He makes me feel beautiful. We're boxing together, couples goals. This is like a dream relationship for her, an ideal relationship for her, but it's not real though. There's a mask here. There's a mask here. Everybody's wearing a mask. Everybody's lying. Everybody's lying here. To themselves and each other. That's the problem. Yeah, everybody's lying to each other. I'm going to leave it there. All right, guys. Thank you for listening. I look forward to hearing your feedback. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll speak to you soon.